Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome back to some viewer-submitted games of StarCraft 2. I was gonna mention that maybe you should prepare for some dumb strategies, but it really didn't take long. I guess I'll introduce an empty command center somewhere all the way over. Oh, okay, well, okay, spotting right here. In the top right-hand corner. Playing with the red Terran SCVs. We have none other than Blake. His opponent down in the bottom left. We're looking inside of the main base of Overlord Popper. Now this is part of the build order. This is part of the strategy for sure. Blake is trying to pretend that he wants to have a little bit of casual information. But already we have a full wall off because there were 2 SCV scouts for Overlord Popper in the middle of the map as well. That's the first time, by the way, that I have ever introduced an empty mineral line. I guess after all these casts, and I gotta say there's thousands of videos up on my channels, that was the first time. Now, this is one of the players on the loading screen was Master League. Now, there is a bit of a bug with Master League where a lot of people like falsely get promoted into it, but the other player was in Diamond. I don't remember exactly which of the two is in that level, but if I were to make a guess, I mean, at least Overlord Popper was pretty quick with his reaction speed here, but he didn't actually finish up any of the stuff. This gets so messy now. I mean, the SCV count should be okay. 15 right now for Overlord Popper. So 15 for the player in blue, 13 for the one that's cheesing. Obviously, the command center is gonna arrive eventually. He would really like to build, I guess, a barracks, but in order to go for a barracks, of course, you do need to have a supply depot out. In the meantime, the SCVs are attacking the command center. He's trying to force the liftoff so he can mine his opponent's main. Yeah. Okay, this is absolutely stupid. Now, if you have an amazing game, you can send it over to replays@LowkoTV. And maybe I'll be making fun of your game in the future. This is truly one of the games of all time. He just returned minerals. Slowly but surely, Blake is getting money here to make another SCV. So soon, after this one pops out, they will actually be at the exact same mineral count. Previously, Overlord Popper could quite literally just attack move and probably be fine. Oh god, he also should have minerals available, but he's not. Oh, this surface area is way better for Blake. He had a lot of minerals available for mass repair, but Blake getting the surface area advantage is gonna force the liftoff, and he will be able to begin mining his opponent's main. Sure. So where does this game go from here? I guess Blake can rebuild the workers. Overlord Popper is gonna settle for his own natural as he now starts up a bunker inside of the main base. In the meantime, Overlord Popper did finish that supply depot and also a barracks rather adjacent to it. So if he can get a few Marines out, this should still be phenomenal here for the player in blue, despite the fact that he had a pretty terrible engagement there to start things off. Blake now realizes it. He probably should do a mass repair round, to be honest. Oh my god, there's these SCVs though. They're so low. He decides to pick some of them up. No mineral walk though on the workers in the... Yeah, he does do it in the end, but it's a little bit too slow. Jimmy is available, but Jimmy is gonna get hit in the face by a bunch of guys that have drills for arms. Okay, Mark is here now too though. This should still be pretty good, though, for Overlord Popper if he can actually get the numbers. There is a bit of mining for Blake. 13 SCVs now in total. If they all fight at the same time, I think you guys need to clump up together, man. No, you guys can't engage yet. Overlord, you gotta chill. Then again, there's no mining here for Blake, so maybe it's not the end of the world. Despite the fact that Overlord Popper only has 6 SCVs of his own. Can we target the low HP ones? That would be great. Yeah, I mean, Jimmy just got surrounded, though, and Mark is dead as well, but he is still pumping out more of them. A little bit of stutter step control. These are the most vicious SCVs I've ever seen. But I think Overlord Popper has this one in the bag, right? As weird as this game has been, he's been... And I think this is fair to say, like, this is definitely a Diamond League game. We have some nice micro here, too. He kept his head cool. I think he could have engaged a little bit sooner, but I think in Overlord Popper's mind, there really wasn't a reason to. As long as he could get a barracks out, that really was the only thing that needed to be done. Now, it is critical, of course, to not give Blake too much time. Then again, he hasn't really repaired. Overlord Popper decides to type GG. Wait, are we doing an offensive GG? GG LOL. Is that what we're doing? Yeah, there's no way he is going to be leaving right now. I thought for a second he was the one removing himself out of the match. But there it is. The first game. It goes in favor of the Blue Terran. Now, I think we all learned that over the last year or so, Clem has really been disliking Terran versus Terran. Maybe that previous game can inspire him to new heights. Maybe he can pick the matchup back up. Now, what I've got for you next is a Silver League match of Protoss versus Zerg, where in the top right-hand corner, we have none other than Neuromancer. And down in the bottom left, we're looking inside of the main base of Sam Barboza. Barboza, is that from the Pirates of the Caribbean? Or is that, I don't remember. I feel like there's an extra syllable in, is it Barbara? I don't remember. Anyways, what are we doing, Neuromancer? Are we drone scouting? I mean, after all of this shenanigans thus far, yeah, I think we're just drone scouting. He doesn't feel the need to send out the Overlord, apparently. That is unnecessary. Why send in your Overlord when you could just go ahead and send in the drone? Now, wait, did Sam not notice? Sam, you... I mean, it's Silver League. I can't... Sam, you literally high-fived the worker, man. Okay. Proxy Nexus versus Proxy Hatchery. This should be phenomenal for Neuromancer. The thing is, I have casted many viewer-submitted games over the years. And while I'm a little bit surprised, okay, the drones, or the probes rather, do get pulled. I'm a little bit surprised that Sam did not notice the worker there of the opponent. I'm pretty sure Neuromancer also did not see the probe. So... the Zerglings are still gonna hit. This hatchery is down. That's plenty of probes to secure the kill. Yeah, we do have to get back to mining. He does need to get a Zealot out. Obviously, he spent a lot of minerals on getting that Nexus. He does decide to just rebuild the hatch right over here. The thing is, right? Oh, we didn't make a wall off, which is very confusing. The thing is, those Zerglings are still going to hit, but Neuromancer does not know about the hidden structure. He did not notice that the opponent was sending out that single probe to now build a base at, well, half of the golden minerals. The probes have decided to come down again from the high ground. Sam is basically shouting for his opponent to get off his lawn, and somehow, some way it worked out because of absolutely zero micro on Neuromancer's end. Neuromancer, though, does still have a worker out here, and he is slowly bringing out more of those bad boys. Clearly, the plan is to go for some sort of Spinecrawler rush, but obviously you can only do so when the actual hatchery is done. And now with the Zealot joining in too, it should be a relatively easy kill. Then again, maybe we should have left a few of the probes here. I think you probably want to leave at least 3 of them. Oh, now the drones have apparently. Man, the workers are aggressive today, aren't they? I feel like I've seen more damage. Yeah, definitely. I've seen more damage come out of workers so far in these games than I've seen the regular attacking units. So this Zealot is actually going to die to drones. And that means that the Spinecrawler rush is still going to happen. In the meantime, inside of the main base of Sam, what do you do when you're a Silver League Protoss? Of course, you default back to the Forge. Cybernetics core, unnecessary. And honestly, in this scenario, I don't hate it. Again, we decide to pull pretty much all of the boys. He has this expansion, though. Now, while it's disjointed from the rest, Sam has been doing a pretty good job keeping up on the production. Chrono boosting the expansion as well. So eventually, I mean, if he recalls the probes out of the main base, he should be able to at least secure mining for a whole lot longer. Now, the Overlords are heading in this direction. I don't know if they're going to be able to get the vision of the base, though. Neuromancer, in the meantime, is securing the low ground. Cybercore now comes up, too. Obviously, if you can go for, like, a Void Ray in this kind of position, I mean, that's basically your one tool for every job here. I don't think the OVs are going to notice it. No, they're just barely out of vision. More and more Zerglings and drones go across the map. The problem here for the Neuromancer is that he does not know about the base. I think this main here of the Protoss is as good as dead. If he handles this nicely, Neuromancer should be able to slowly push the creep up here, bring the spine crawlers within range, and you really can't cover all of your bases very nicely here. I mean, he doesn't have that much money because he has been building stuff over here, but I think it's okay. In the meantime, Sam is sending out a probe. Maybe he's planning on fighting fire with fire? Yes, he is. Oh, this is awkward. This is when you cross your fingers and hope the opponent doesn't pay attention to the minimap. There's also a very real shot, though, that Sam did not notice it himself. In the meantime, the spine crawlers are poking. The queens are fighting too on the high ground. Indeed, there was no vision of the Zerg player that there is a probe now inside of the main. Those Zerglings just popped out of the cocoon, so they were on move command. If they would have been on attack move, obviously they would have just snatched up that worker kill with ease. Sam, in the meantime, though, is mining. And Neuromancer believes that he's got his opponent exactly where he needs him to. Now, eventually I think Zerg is going to be able to overwhelm this. The thing is, Neuromancer is putting all of his money into this one push. And considering there's a second Protoss base, I don't think that that is the way to go about it. But he doesn't know. In the meantime, the pylon did finish up inside of the main base. Neuromancer still has not spotted it. He does not have vision of that corner. We do need to get the creep probably around the side this way, if I were to make a guess. That's a pretty easy spot for another tumor to come up, and then you can walk the spine crawlers around in the direction of the mineral line. Additional Zerglings once more coming up. Both players do have a bit of money in the bank, but Sam did drop quite a bit of it by building out the sneakiest row of structures. God, I love these games, man. They're so much fun. They're so difficult to predict. Like, I have no idea where this is gonna go. If I were to make a guess, I think Zerg is gonna destroy this base, but then be completely flabbergasted by the fact that the opponent has another expansion. Now, I thought that Sam was gonna go and build up a Stargate here, because Forge into Stargate, Forge into, Void Rays usually, right? Like, that is the absolute Silver League standard, but I did not expect this. Now, fun fact, you can't actually kill the hatchery. The photon cannons are never going to be within range, but the way that the creep spreads around, you can't actually kill the entire base, but obviously this Roach Warren is fair game. He can make the biggest contain here on his opponent's expansion, and likewise we see the same thing right now on the other side of the map. The difference, though, is that Neuromancer can kill the Nexus, but the Protoss here should not be able to kill the hatchery. This right here is the most critical part of Sam's base. I think Sam is just about to learn that you cannot pull this off. He's rebuilding the Forge. Oh no, we do have to recall Sam. Sam! Did Sam forget? Sam, you're giving up on the main base, but you can get those probes out, dude. We should get those probes out, 100%. We should just... Okay, I said... No, Sam. Oh, okay, well... that's not what I expected. That's about the last thing I suspected, really. So that flips his entire game upside down. I mean, I saw the Nexus on the production tab. I was wondering where it was. Didn't glance at the minimap yet. It's inside of the opponent's main. Gateway coming up. I think this is the game where Sam learns that indeed you cannot easily kill the main base of a Zerg with photon cannons alone. Neuromancer, though, probably... he assumes that the final structures he needs to kill are right over here. And you know what? I like the Proxy Nexus here quite a bit. Normally, for the Zerg, it would pop up the message that the opponent is revealed because you have destroyed the final main structure of the opponent. But, I mean, by the time that he would ever have had that revelation message, he already saw that there was a new Nexus building. So it is likely going to, well, continue helping hide this particular base right over here. Neuromancer expected this game to be over by now. Instead, he's finding himself with the opponent's natural. I wouldn't mind seeing him then try to maybe sneak out some of those drones. In the meantime, pro production has begun. Sure, take his gases too, man. Hit him where it hurts. That is one way, I guess, to share a mineral line and a single expansion. Neuromancer, though, is now retaking a bunch of bases. Yeah, he's sending the spine crawlers, I think, down to the low ground. Fair enough. Main base of the opponent is being acquired. Third hatchery right over here, too. So this game is honestly far from over. I honestly don't know. Like, we've effectively swapped mains. Zealots are starting to pop out now. And they, of course, will be able to kill the main. It's going to take a little while, but that is the entirety of the Zerg main, I think, basically accounted for. Sam decides to now take the low ground, too. My god, we actually have a full trade. I mean, I use the name base race or base trade quite loosely, normally in pro games. It doesn't usually mean that the players are actually trading mains. But I think in this instance it is. We are actually just straight up swapping spawn locations. Now, of course, this has been a little bit of overkill, right? Sure, we can criticize Neuromancer for having, well, 1,500 resources in the bank. But I think Sam went a little deep with the worker count. Or, sorry, the photon cannon count. I think he could have sliced at least the amount in half, and he still would have been okay. In the meantime, we have the alternative gold base now taken as well on the other side, and then also the expansion in the far bottom right. Sam really is a sucker for Vespian gas. Keeps on taking all of it, apparently. Really doesn't need it, though, because, I mean, he's got a bit of it in the bank. We really should be building up some tech. Okay, so what has Neuromancer been up to? Well, he's building a lair. He's got a spawning pool right now finishing up, which is kind of ironic, because the requirement to make a lair is a spawning pool. Lucky for him, he still has the one over here in the main, but he's already anticipating its loss. Neuromancer, though, still does not know about this base, right? And that is what's making all of this so difficult here for the Zerg. I think Neuromancer still has a major misread. He probably assumes that the opponent is as good as dead. But this really could not be further from the truth. Well, he's playing this out now as a bit of a macro game, though, so we'll have to see how this goes. Burrow is coming up here for the Zerg, which I really don't mind. Apparently, we're trying to chase down a bunch of overlords with photon cannons. I find this an ambitious play from Sam. Look at Sam. Sam is trying to intercept the overlord retreat. Don't tell me it's going to work, man. This is... What is the APM at? Neuromancer is at 121. Honestly, that's respectable. That's not bad whatsoever. 50 is certainly on the lower end of things. Don't. Sam, that's not even going to be within range, dude. I mean, the overlords will just get attacked and then move towards the left and nothing's going to die, right? So he's desperately spending about, give or take 1,000 minerals to kill 400 minerals worth of overlords, and he's not even going to get that job done. Now, I am no math magician, but I feel like this is not ideal. Sam has got an addiction, man. He did not start this game off with a forge, but as soon as the opportunity arose, he built 2 of them, and then he started adding on photon cannons. Left, right, and center. We have 3 zealots and 21 cannons. In the meantime, Nidus Worm coming up here for Neuromancer. I don't know where he's planning on navigating to. Maybe he wants to retake his old main base. Sam, though, has got different plans. He's now building up a nexus of his own there inside of the opponent's expansion. Or main? I mean, maybe this is now the main. It's honestly difficult to judge. I don't know what the Nidus network here is for. Double upgrades coming up, though. Roach speed. We have the Zergling speed as well. Neuromancer is making a bit of an army. Sam, I think you actually go Void Race here every time. There's no way. Neuro, get out. What are you doing? Neuro, you're going to lose everything, dude. There's no way. Does he know how many photons there are? Does he really believe this is enough? I think you're doing the Protoss player a favor here, attacking into this, but maybe I'm the one that's stupid. Because there are way too many photon cannons as it is, and so far they haven't really provided any value. But now you're giving them value. Yeah, okay, well, we do retreat. In the meantime, we build up about 5 Stargates. Man, Sam is a fan of infrastructure. The man's made 5 Zealots this game. Okay, 5 Zealots, 1 Stalker. I missed the Stalker. And other than that, we have structures for days. He's sprinkling pylons all over the map. Normally, Protoss players feel like they are stuck behind a wall, but Sam is now treating the entire map as his main. And you know what? You love to see the confidence. The probes are going back to a little bit of fighting again. They did so before as well to a hatchery. Obviously, it's not going to work. Base over here, though, is now running out. Sam, you really need to get some units out, man. Yeah, you have no money. Yeah, okay, well, wow. We built 5 Stargates, and now we can afford 1 Void Ray. Sam's like, yo, my macro is incredible. My macro is so good, I don't even have money right now. That's crazy. I mean, I guess technically this counts as macro, but it also hurts. At this point, other than Queens, there is no anti-air for Neuromancer. If we're gonna rely on Queens, I would love to see at least the bases connected with Creep. Oh, he's gonna bring the... Okay, he's gonna bring the ladies across. How? Are you guys on a secret mission to pop down a Nidus Worm? Are we retaking our old main base? A little bit of move commanding again, don't mind us. Not a big deal, dude. He just sees a bunch of probes long distance mining a random mineral line, don't worry about it. Not a big deal. Oh my god, he's making oracles. He's making foracles. Is he gonna make moracles as well? +1 air weapons does not benefit oracles. Oracle damage is considered to be spell damage. And spell damage in StarCraft 2 does not benefit from attacks. Or benefit from attacking upgrades. But he did find the expansion over here. More Void Rays. Yeah, the Void Rays do benefit from it. So, Neuro, did you not notice that... You saw probes. You killed the probes. Like, you were looking at them. You had the selection circles here. Oh my god, he is indeed popping them into the opponent's main. Or his old main base. It's hard to say who's who. But anyways. Sam! Sam, you gotta go kill it! Sam! Sam, kill the worm! Oh, can we transfuse? Can we transfuse? Do we transfuse? We do not transfuse, but the units are popping out. Roaches, in the meantime, are moving in, but I mean, the oracles... Now new queens popped out after everybody already died. Roaches clump up against each other on top of the ramp. And I think Skytoss is doing it again. Photon cannons and Void Rays. I mean, the game didn't start off like that, but you can tell why it's a nice unit composition, right? Neuromancer is playing the more sophisticated style. But I've got a feeling that this game is going to be nearly impossible for Neuromancer to win. He is making a Hydra Den, and he does have a whole lot of minerals available. He could actually have the perfect ratio for Hydralisks of minerals and gas, but he doesn't have the larva. Here come the oracles. The oracles seemingly have not deactivated their pulsar beam, so they're actually out of energy now. Oracles for tanking is a new mechanic that I am not familiar with. You saw how it activated its beam for about 1/10 of a second and then immediately ran out. Well, the lair is going to go down. Spore crawlers are being built, though. I will say, none of these players are shying away from static defense. Yeah, the oracles are really just here as a decorative piece, I suppose. It's kind of beautiful. And the Void Rays are kind of dying. Spore crawlers deal an insane amount of damage. Oh my god. Sam is... Are you throwing it, Sam? Sam. Sam, did you just throw it again? How many throws can we have in one game? I mean, now we end up... Listen, we end up with Roach Hydra with 2/2 upgrades. That is the classic Zerg unit composition. Those units just... You know, it's like peanut butter and jelly. They just work together very nicely. Now, I'm not actually a big fan of peanut butter and jelly, but theoretically, it's a unit composition that really flows. So, I am assuming if we just max out here as the Zerg, or maybe not max out, maybe if we just make a round of units, we just chill, wait for the upgrade. No, we don't have to take the worm, dude. Just because you own a private jet doesn't mean you have to take it to the supermarket, man. Come on. Okay, well, Neuromancer apparently does not believe it. He's really scared of this one photon cannon that is just barely within range of the ramp. I actually didn't try peanut butter and jelly until I was like 20 years old. I'd heard about this in American television shows and all the rest of it. I was like, you know what, let me give this a try. Maybe if you grow up with it, it's better, okay? Anyways. Hydra's in the front, Roach is in the back. Not usually the way that it's done. It's like a reverse mullet over here. Bolt in the back. And then just a sheath of hair. Normally the Roaches go in the front because the Hydras have way less HP but way more ranged. Oh my lord, did we just throw it here, Neuro? I don't even know who's winning anymore, man. Prismatic alignment on the Hydras is like the least of my worries now. Normally that would be a highlight for anything. The Hydras, though, I think are plentiful, and the upgrades really benefit the Zerg here a ton. We have more Roaches working away at the ramp, but ultimately, the Stargates are dying, Sam is going to be losing more and more Voids, and while I think there's just barely enough Void Rays to clean up the Hydralisks here, there are more Hydras coming, and Protoss, I mean, you have some money now, but now you've forgotten that you can spend it, so... This entire Zerg army, though, is going to get wiped off the map, I believe. Unless we're sending in reinforcements, there are still an insane amount of units inside of the network. Protoss, in the meantime, did expand again all over the map. The entire top left corner now has been taken. Neuromancer is willing to sacrifice anything, though, in order to retake the old main base. And so far, I mean, it's cost him about 14,000 minerals and 2,500 gas, but he's getting the job done. Prismatic alignment activated again on Hydralisks. I think Sam would probably benefit from reading the tooltips on some of the flying units a little bit. Doesn't matter, though. Eventually, Hydras are popping out of the network, and they will be able to remove all forms of damage, and therefore the main has been successfully retaken. Now, I think in order to celebrate Neuromancer, even though it's not beneficial at all, I think we should make the hatchery, just to show the opponent. One gas geyser has been taken right over here. Nobody knows why. Was there a Nexus here? I guess there was a Nexus here. In the meantime, though, Neuromancer knows that he probably needs to get a bit of a move on. Keep in mind that the actual win condition in a game of StarCraft 2 is to destroy all of your opponent's structures. The armies don't matter. The thing is, all of these guys over here do. So, this is a main that will be pretty much impossible to break for Sam. And despite the fact that I feel like Sam had this in the bag, right? He managed to get away against a Spinecrawler rush with a proxy expansion that had like twice the total economy all on its own than the entire eco of the opponent. Somehow, some way, he managed to throw it. Can't believe it. Highly entertaining series, though. Highly entertaining games. Again, if you have an amazing set of games, maybe that you have recently played yourself, you can go ahead and submit it to replays@LowkoTV or replays@Lowko.tv, and then maybe I'll be casting your game in the future.